Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm your host, Rob Younce, and thank you for tuning back into the Canecast Show. If today's your first episode, this one could be the best. If you've been with us before, we really appreciate you coming back. But either way, today's guest is none other than me. Yeah, me. All right, make sure you still tune in. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask you a favor. We need your help in growing the show. First of all, smash that like button. Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast host, give us a like. 2, drop us a comment to let us know what you like or you don't like about the show. 3, help us grow our community by subscribing. This lets others know that this show is legit. Show us some love with a review, or 5, simply share the episode. This one in particular, send to all the players and parents whose son plays travel baseball. You can even send it to some softball players and parents because it all ties in together. So today's episode is all about the players. With baseball starting back up, I feel compelled to give players some relevant tips on how to make a great first impression when the college coaches are actually allowed back to recruiting. It's vitally important in the recruiting process. And as an added bonus, I'm also throwing in 6 tips for parents as well. So let's take a quick inventory. Earbuds, check. Notebook, check. Pen, check. Okay, let's get to the show. Hey, what's up, everybody? Rob Younce here with another edition of Canecast Show. Today, we are going to be talking about recruiting tips. And I'm going to give you 10 to 15 really good things for you as players that you need to make sure that you do to make a good first impression and give a coach a reason to recruit you. And parents, at the very end of this, I will have 5 things that you need to make sure that you don't do to hurt your child's chances to be recruited. So let's get into it. First and foremost, you have one shot to make a good first impression. So I would challenge you and require that you show up with your haircut looking decent and make sure that you're clean shaven. And the reason for that is college recruiting is really about projection. They want to know that you're going to get better. They may like you now when you're throwing 85, 86, but you want them to believe and to know that you're going to be throwing harder because you're going to fill out. And if you show up with a full beard, they're going to think you're a 30-year-old man. I don't know many 30-year-old men that are getting recruited to play baseball, so make sure you look the part. The hair, I saw a couple guys this weekend, longer hair, hat keeps falling off. They just don't look the role, guys. So make sure you're trimmed up, make sure your face looks good. Night before, make sure you plan ahead. So get hydrated, drink a bunch of water so you're ready to roll. Get to bed early, especially if you have an early game. Get to bed early. Don't stay up on your phone all night. Make sure that you're rested and prepared. When you wake up in the morning, eat breakfast. Make sure you're prepared. Now, getting to the field is one. And this is a personal pet peeve of mine, and coaches have brought it up to me in the past. Make sure you don't show up in Crocs or slides. Not even with the little things on your Crocs. Just don't do it. You don't look like an athlete. Coach will watch you walk in and just go, what is that guy thinking? He has no feel whatsoever. You want him to think you have feel. So show up in your turfs or running shoes, either one. Have them tied. I know that seems really basic, but don't come in with your stuff falling all over the place. If you have any snacks or any water or anything like that, throw that in your bag. They don't want to see you run into the concession stand. Have all that, carry your bag. Make sure your shirt is tucked in. If you're wearing shorts with BP, if your coach allows that, that's cool. But make sure your shirt is tucked in so that you look like a baseball player. Now, getting to the field, all right? So we're out of the car, we're getting to the field. Show up early. If your coach tells you to be there an hour early, show up an hour and 15. The Yankees used to have a saying that was, if you're 5 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. Because they wanted you there 15 minutes early. Same thing. Now, you get there early, you go to the cage, and you stretch. Don't be the guy that walks up, takes 5 half-ass swings, and then go, hang out in the shade. Take your swings, get prepared, and don't leave the cage. Don't go walking to the field unless you're the starting pitcher or the starting catcher and coach has given you permission. Stay there and pick up the balls because you know what? I throw BP, and I absolutely hate it when my guys walk off and do not pick up the baseballs. Really annoying. College coaches watch it. They want the guy who's going to be the first one there and the last one to leave. All the time, every time. They want leaders. They want people who are going to do the right things all the time. So you can check that box off simply by staying around and picking up the baseballs. Pretty simple, huh? Let's see, what else do I have? Have a plan for your BP. Know what that looks like. Know if you need to take swings off a tee before you get in, don't fight to be the first guy. I've never seen one of our teams not get all their swings in. So make sure that you have a plan. When we get to the field, take BP. If you're not hitting anymore, let's say your coach says 2 rounds after you take your second round, get your pants on right away. Go ahead and get prepared. Don't talk around. Don't goof around with your teammates. Stay there. Get your pants on and be ready to roll. And remember, always somebody is watching you. With college coaches not able to get off campus right away, if you're paying attention a couple episodes ago, Logan Allen talked about how Wake Forest, which is an awesome program, phenomenal coaches, ghost recruited him for the longest time, meaning he never saw anyone wearing Wake Forest gear at his games until the very, very end. They had somebody that came to the games that they trusted to watch. Well, don't you think that if college coaches aren't allowed to get off campus right now, that the same thing probably will be happening? And or watching you on stream? So make sure you remember that. It's super important. With that, always be a good teammate. Be the guy in the dugout that's picking people up. Be a positive energy giver. You know, we talk about being on the energy bus and not being an energy sucker and stuff like that. Make sure you're that guy. Make sure you're the one, you know, even if you're 0 for 3, you can still be a great teammate. If somebody makes a great play, you should be his biggest cheering section that he has. Hustle. Simple. Because they want to see that you love the game, because whether or not you realize it, college baseball is really, really hard. Getting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock to work out in the off season while your friends have been out the entire night before and they sleep in because they don't have an 8 a.m. class and sleep in until 9 or 10 o'clock. But you're getting up at 5:30 going to work out, and then you're going to your class. So they want people who love the game. Show them you love the game by hustling, doing all the right things all the time, playing hard. Oh, and going back before you get there, another little box that they kind of check off is make sure your social media is clean. From the name that you choose, they don't want to hear cool dude or young boy or anything like that, or whatever you think is cool to your buddies. Put your name. Mine is at Rob Younce. Easy to find. So all you have to do is search for your name and not try to find out what covert name you're using. Make sure it has contact information. Maybe your email address there, your name, your class, your height, your weight, maybe your GPA, stuff like that. Make yourself easy to find. But also make sure you're not being a jerk on social media, because that's one of the biggest turnoffs right there. I think we've seen several times where people have reduced their chances by a social media tweet or post or whatever. Another one of my big pet peeves: do not, under any circumstances, tag college coaches in your swing or in a video of any sort. I will slap you. Backhand probably this time. It's annoying. Think about it from a college coach's perspective. It's a cheap way of an introduction. Cheap in lacking class and lacking substance. So don't do that. Don't do that. If you need help, contact me. I can help you. But don't do that. Your Canes coaches can help you. Don't tag people in posts. It's asinine. It's a football thing, and stay away from that. You're not going to gain any other interest. Now, you can post clips to social media. That's cool. I encourage you to do that. Just don't tag coaches. They will see you, and if you need help getting your video to places, we can help do that with the Canes coaches. So don't do that. Smack you. Those are my big ones for the players. Now, For the parents, I'm going to give you 5 and probably add one in there. 6 great tips for you to help your son. First of all, stay away from the dugout. If little Johnny can't prepare for the game, how's he going to be able to prepare for freshman year without you in his house doing his laundry, doing his clothes in his dorm room, things like that? Stay away from the dugout. I guarantee you, parents, if the kids probably stopped listening by now, but I guarantee you he'll do it once. He'll forget his water once, just once. And then little Johnny will start remembering because he'll get thirsty during the games. Don't come near the dugout unless he's hurt. Pretty simple. 2, in the stands, don't talk about coaches. You don't know them. They're not necessarily wearing head-to-toe college gear. They show up in regular clothes, and they do that for a reason, because they want to evaluate you too as parents. So remember, you're always being evaluated as well. 3, don't yell at the umpires. Leave that to the coaches. We're perfectly capable of taking care of that. Your job is to be the cheerleader for the entire team. Cheer on your son, cheer on every single player, but don't yell at the umpires. We've got it. You don't want somebody to hear you say something and think, man, I don't want that in my stands. I don't want that parent yelling at our umpires. So that's your third one? Yeah, that's the third one. 4, don't yell instructions to your kids. I can tell you, look back and listen through all of the other CaneCast episodes. You're going to hear every single one of those players will say, my parents were hands off. They sat in the stands, they clapped, they left the coaching and everything else to the coaches. So don't yell instructions. Don't tell little Johnny to keep his elbow up. Don't tell him any instructions other than cheering him on. I promise you it will go a long way to helping your son be positively recruited, because again, the coach is evaluating you as well. And number 5, which I kind of touched on already, is cheer for all the players. Your son may be one of 2 shortstops on the team. Cheer for the other kid. They're kids, for goodness sakes. You're not going to help your kid get an advantage by cheering against the other kid or purposefully not cheering. Be positive. Be better. Be part of a team and enjoy it. Enjoy this ride, because I promise you, it will go very, very quickly and you will miss it a lot. And the +1 I'll give you is the last one I gave to the parents or to the players, and this one's super important too. For you, when you post video of your kid, do not tag college coaches. Do not send a video and tag like 7 college coaches. College coaches do not like this. If you think about it from their perspective, they will get 40, 50, 60 of these a day. Pretty annoying, don't you think? If your son wants to be recruited by someone, or wants to see if the college coaches will like him and feel that he can be a part of the program, contact me or your Canes coach, and we will get your son's information in front of him. Now, you need to make sure that you understand fully that they may say no, that they don't like it. But I'm telling you, they do not like you tagging them in posts. So don't post Johnny's exit velo in the backyard using a pocket radar and tag 5 to 10 different coaches. It's not going to get you anywhere. I've talked to college coaches, they're over it. So there you have it. 20-ish tips? I don't know. I lost count. I didn't count. I just wrote them all down and give them to you, because as baseball starts up, everybody feels like there's a big rush, and they feel like this, because we've lost time with the pandemic, that we're playing musical chairs and the music's about to stop. Don't look at it that way. Play the game the right way. Play it hard. Play it because you love it. And I promise good things will happen to you. If you're part of the Canes network, please reach out to me or one of your coaches, and we will help point you in the right direction. But follow those tips and have some ability, and you will not get marked off of a list. I promise you. Thanks a lot. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Maybe add some of your own. Or if you think I'm full of it and I don't know what I'm talking about, you can put that there. All right? Have an awesome day. Thanks so much. This one's a short one. Let's be excited because baseball's here, and have an awesome season. Talk to you soon. Well, did you get anything out of this episode? Hopefully you did. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, subscribe, review, and share. Give us a follow on social media at CaneCast Show. You can reach out to me on all social channels at Rob Younce, or email me directly at robyounce@gmail.com. I welcome your feedback as I look to improve this show every single time out. Stay safe, wash your hands, and please understand that someone is always watching.